back.
Casada Garcia. Anthony Cook. And District 5 will be represented by Paula Bronson. So what we'll do is we'll go in that order. So we'll administer the oath. And by the way, we have 2 other board members that everybody can share. All right. So Terry Castillo and Heather Cahoon.
I got it out the way.
You got it out of the way. So what will happen is each one will come up. They will bring whoever is going to hold the Bible or help them with administrating, help them stand with them while the oath is administered. Then at that time, if they want to address the group in here, they'll have a minute or 2 to go ahead and thank those that they want to thank, and then we'll move to the next board member. At 5:30 sharp, our meeting commences. So, and we have a lot to get to tonight. Our new board members will hit the ground running this evening. They've been working very hard to prepare for tonight. Kind of feels like I'm introducing like an elementary school play. They worked really hard. So support them. This is what I would say. Public service is a very, very noble but difficult job. The board member role is one that really requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of diligence. It requires making tough decisions to ensure the public good. What I know is that each one of the new board members and each one of our existing board members, and I think that they'll attest to this, you need a good circle around you to support you. So what I would ask is that whoever you're here to support, please make sure that you support them through this entire experience, that sometimes leadership can be a very lonely job. And a lot of times the decisions that one makes can be unpopular in a lot of circles, but one makes those decisions for certain reasons. And that's the tough part about leadership. But we know that those that are joining our board and the ones that are already on our board are up to the task and are ready to go ahead and fulfill that responsibility. So we will start in T-minus 7 minutes, and then we will get going. The reason why we're waiting until 5 o'clock is because we will be doing a simulcast. So anybody who isn't able to fit into this room, because we're full, we're going to go ahead and make sure that they have the opportunity to hear it as well. All right? So 4:54, and what we'll do is we'll make sure that we get everybody in position at 5 with Ms. Garcia. All right? Okay. Thank you.
to the right hand side. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Florida.
and of the state of Florida,
That I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will,
and that I will,
well and faithfully,
well and faithfully,
perform the duties of a school board member,
perform the duties of school board member,
on which I am now
in which I am now
about to enter.
about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
So my turn to say a few
Yes.
words now. Tonight, I come today with so much gratitude to our community. And I'll say that this was quite an experience. First, I want to thank God because He made this possible, and all the glory to Him. And for me, my family, they were fantastic during this time, their support, their love. And my daughter, that's here, my daughters, my grandchildren were my inspiration. My siblings are here too, and friends. And for me, I'll say that a special thanks to my mother because she encouraged me to continue with this. And she was like that reminder of a word that was given to me 9 years ago in Calvario City Church. That word was that one day I will be sitting in higher places. And I think that dais looks pretty high. And I thank my friends that are here. Thank you for those long phone calls that, should I do this? Should I? And they were like, yeah, go for it. You do it. And they're all here supporting me tonight. And the supporters, the constituent in District 2 were fantastic. Every door that I knocked, they were like opening those doors with kindness and so accepting me. And they showered with me mangoes, water. Yeah, it was like wonderful. And I thank God for that. Also, for me, I'll say that this Jibarita from Caguas, Puerto Rico, that came here with nothing, this is the real American dream. And for my fellow board members that are sitting here, I'll say that I declare today that we will be the greatest board that Osceola has ever seen. That we will bring back trust, dignity, and respect to this board. That we will serve our community with love and unity. So help us, God.
Okay, and I am here to now introduce District 3's representative, Anthony Cook.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, that's a lot of words, Tanya. That I will support, protect, and defend
the
the
Constitution
Constitution
and government of the United States
and government of the United States
and of the state of Florida.
and of the state of Florida.
That I am duly qualified
That I am duly qualified
to hold office under the Constitution of the state,
to hold office under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of school board member,
the duties of school board member,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Boom.
Boom. what it's like on the other end. So I didn't know that we were supposed to speak afterwards, and then Besaida speaks. Now I'm back there shaking in my boots. I have nothing prepared at all. I will say thank you to everybody that is here tonight, not just for me, but for all of the board members. We are very excited about the possibilities that we have with the people that we have in place right now. I will say this, there are many in here that know me. A lot of you do not know me. On all accounts, I really shouldn't be here today. Statistics were not on my side, but I am here. And if I remember correctly, I will be the first African American on this board. What I will promise you that I'm very confident in, as I was the first male teacher hired at Bella Lago, my 20 years dedicated to this district has been about students, how to position them to be successful, not only while they are with us in our K-12 space, but once they leave us. That's what I'm dedicated to. That's the work that I'm about. That's all I care about. So if that's the business that you're in, I'm here to support that. Otherwise, I don't really know what to tell you, okay? Outside of let's get on the same page to make our students be the best that they could possibly be, the best academically, the best human beings they can be, and to pursue whatever careers that they want to pursue and be successful at that. That's my promise to y'all, that I will do everything in my power to make sure that that happens. So with that being said, I'm gonna get from over here, or I'm just gonna keep talking and start crying. I can't cry in front of y'all. I'm a board member now, I'm crying.
All right, now it is my pleasure to introduce our incoming board member from District 5, Paula Bronson.
Ready? I'm ready. Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the government of the United States
and the government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
and that I am duly qualified
and I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state.
and that I will well and faithfully
I will well and faithfully
perform the duties of school board member,
perform the duties of a school board member,
on which I am now about to enter.
in which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. I just want to say that I am truly humbled by this experience. I've been in education over 20 years, and I have loved every minute of it. I've dedicated my life to loving other people's children and helping them succeed, and I'm going to continue to do that for District 5. Thank you.
You guys want to do one of these things or out? All right, do you guys want to go change real quick?
I mean, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, you can. So Besaida would like one picture with. Without, sorry, without, yeah.
Regular shoes first.
No, that's true.
My district?
How are we doing?
Oh, you have to say something.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You like each other. And you know each other.
Sorry guys, you all are in the frame, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can you guys back
okay.
up for me? So sorry, thank you. What?
Hold that shot.
Squeeze it, honey. Perfect. Like, does this just tip it a little bit?
Hip it. Yeah, yes. Y'all
Oh,
know,
you
y'all know the
did
code. I've seen y'all's pictures before. Don't act like y'all don't do that.
I'm going to I won in this one.
Here we go, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all.
All right, let's go ahead and let's make the wardrobe change, and then we'll do another round of photos.
Okay.
So, one thing that, if you've been keeping up with what we're doing in SDOC, I've gotten around to a lot of different schools. One of the things that I tend to do, that I started when I was a high school principal, was I pretty much wear sneakers everywhere. The reason why I wear sneakers is because it gives me an opportunity to talk with the kids about something. It breaks the ice very, very quickly when we start talking about shoes. So I thought it would be great if, as a board, we all kind of, and superintendent, we all started kind of walking down this same path together. And so as part of that, we all have matching sneakers. So we will be, we will find out very quickly who does not know how to tie their shoes. You definitely know how to tie shoes. You don't have to tie them. That's right.
Some of them.
The school board meeting for the school district of Osceola County for Tuesday, November 19th. I am Superintendent Mark Shanoff. This meeting serves as our reorganization meeting as well, so I will be chairing the meeting until a new chair and vice chair are elected. At this time, I would like to ask Adam Zern, the second counselor in the state presidency of the St. Cloud, Florida Stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, to deliver the invocation. He will be followed by Dr. Elizabeth Kennedy, principal of Osceola High School, who will deliver the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we will have students from Osceola High School singing the national anthem. Please rise.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful that we can join together this evening. We're grateful for blessings of our children and our communities. We're grateful for the opportunity that we have to work together for their benefit and for the benefit of the rising generation all over Osceola County. We're grateful for the responsibilities that have been placed on our shoulders, and we pray that we'll be able to bear them up and work together in a spirit of cooperation and love, that we can be peacemakers and can find solutions to difficult problems. We're grateful for our public facilities, for our teachers, our administrators, our civil servants, and elected officials. Please bless them with inspiration and with guidance. We are so grateful to be able to live in this country. We pray that we can live together in peace and harmony, and we pray for our families and parents that they can support and love their children, and bless all of us to help them in that mighty and noble task. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight toward the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land, o'er the land, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
You may be seated. The mission statement tonight will be read by Ms. Diane Nichols, Principal of Michigan Avenue Elementary.
inspiring all learners to reach their highest potential as responsible, productive citizens.
Our interpretation services. I'm sorry, Naira, I'll introduce you. Will be done by Naira Alvira.
Good evening, I'm Naira Alvira and I'm here to provide interpretation services. Buenas noches, mi nombre es Naira Alvira y estoy aquí para proveer el servicio de interpretación.
All right, we'll start with positive comments from the board members. We'll start with Ms. Garcia.
Thank you for everything right now. I'm so excited and so thrilled that finally we get to meet. And I would like to give kudos to our clinic. I went the other day and they have a fantastic facility. And all the department heads that I was able to meet, they were wonderful to me. And I know and I'm looking forward to work with everyone here at the board. And as I say, I definitely believe that we're gonna be the greatest board that Osceola has seen.
Thank you. Ms. Castillo?
Thank you, Dr. Shanoff. First, welcome to the A team. I am thrilled that everybody's here, and I'm so happy that you all had a wonderful, look at all these people from the community that showed up for y'all. Y'all are very, very lucky, and we are lucky to have you, so thank you so much for deciding to run for office. I also want to give a shout out to the Toho art students. Y'all, if you are driving around our beautiful county, you will see these gorgeous displays by a bus stop. Sometimes they'll be, they're in several different places, but those beautiful drawings, those beautiful paintings were done by some of the art students at Toho. So as usual, they are doing great, great work, and shout out to their teacher and mentor, Ms. Mojes. I also want to give a shout out to the PTA, PTO, I'm going to call them the coalition in District 1. So last week I was fortunate enough to be invited to a Friendsgiving fundraiser in Celebration. And this was to benefit some of our families, some of our fit families in our schools. And I just want to say how impressed I was by all of those community members, but specifically the PTA, PTO parents who put this together. They got the community together to make donations and to make sure that every single one of the students at our schools are taken care of. So that is teamwork, and I just want to say thank you so much for always keeping our students in mind. So I will go ahead and turn it over to the next person, Dr. Shanoff.
Thank you. Ms. Cahill?
Thank you. I first want to thank our leadership team here, Dr. Shanoff's cabinet, for getting our new board members ready for tonight, because there's a lot that goes into making sure a new school board member is well equipped and prepared for their first meeting. I didn't have to do a full first meeting when I was sworn in. We were lucky enough to save that for after we had gone to our new school board member training with the Florida School Board Association. So it's a lot that these three are having to do tonight before they've had that introduction to what it's like being a school board member. So our team, I appreciate you doing that for them. I also want to do a big shout out to Dr. Michelle Henninger. She just became adding another one to our cabinet, which I was very excited to see. So congratulations to you. And then I just want to remind our families that we have the Choice Fair coming up on November 21st. So we are a Choice District here in the state of Florida. It's a Choice State. So with that, you're able to choose the right school that best fits your students. So please show up at Osceola Heritage Park. If you need information on it, check our social media channels and our website for that. All the schools will be represented. They will have all different things featuring what each of the schools can offer our students in Osceola County. And we have amazing things that we offer. So please make sure you check that out and come and participate in that.
Thank you, Ms. Cahill. Mr. Cook?
My turn.
It is.
It is. As we continue to do this work, there will be more positive comments. If you're familiar with me, I used to do Spotlight Fridays, highlight the stuff that we would do here in the county. So I'm going to spotlight this evening. I want to thank Dr. Shanoff, his cabinet and leadership team for what was just brought up, getting us prepared. And in having conversations with them, it's evident that their dedication and passion is in line with what we're trying to do, and that's why Ms. Garcia has said she thinks we'll be the best board, but I think we're in a really great position with the people that we have here at district office and all of the work that they're doing and wanting to see this district. I travel the state training other districts, and I have told the members up here, there's not many people across the state that are doing what we're doing in Osceola County. I think sometimes we forget that, how far ahead we are of others, and I'm excited to see the opportunity for us to really show how much of a gem we actually are. So I really appreciate Dr. Shanoff and his extended leadership for having those conversations and letting me know that we're in this game together.
Thank you, Mr. Coach. Ms. Bronson?
Yes, I would like to say that I am just truly grateful to be here and that the voters of District 5 just acknowledged that they saw my passion for education. And I have spent the last 6 years at Lakeview Elementary working in the dual language program. And yesterday was my last day in the classroom, and it was a real challenge to say goodbye. I just also want to thank everyone who's here at the administration for just making me feel welcome and just setting us all up for success. And I'm just happy.
Thank you. All right, I have, my positive comment is tacking on to my positive comment from last meeting, where I acknowledged the work that went into shelter operations and emergency management during Hurricane Milton. When we had to activate our shelters, it didn't take long for a lot of folks to get themselves into position to serve our community and support our community. It all starts at the top, I believe, and Scott Noble, who is our Assistant Superintendent of School Operations, is in charge of these operations when they occur and having to activate and work with emergency management with Osceola County under the great leadership of Bill Litton. Scott is the one that has to get everything moving, and that includes transportation, food service, maintenance, and then getting the shelters operational quickly. So I'm going to recognize a list of folks. I'm going to go down to the podium to do that. Most of them are here. So forgive me a second. As I call your name, please come up. Scott Noble. Steve West, the Director of Maintenance. Jose Gonzalez from the Office of Budget, and he also oversees our payroll department. Judith Gordon, the Director of School Nutrition Services. Randy Wheeler, the Director of Transportation. Stay up here. All the precious cargo has been dropped off. You can remain here tonight.
We're still working though, sir.
Jim Hickey, Principal, Harmony High School. Latanya Harris, Principal, Liberty High School. Nadia Winston, Principal at Central Avenue Elementary School. Representing Chris Todd, the principal of Celebration High School, is Mr. Siebel, assistant principal from Celebration High School. It's up to you whether or not you give that coin. James Long, principal, Gateway High School. And Michael Melvin, assistant principal, Kissimmee Middle School. All right, let's have you guys stay up here for just a second because we want to express our gratitude to the Trace Family Foundation as well for their generous donation to the schools that served as shelters during Hurricane Milton. So below is a letter received from Kelly Trace. To my favorite school principals of all time. Thank you all again so much for going above and beyond by helping our shelter volunteers on site during Hurricane Milton. You are real heroes and helped me greatly as your liaison at the Emergency Operations Center for Mass Care and Shelter Operations. I know I speak for the entire team at the EOC when I say thank you for your help at the shelter and for pouring into our volunteers on site. I know we couldn't have done this without you. This was our county's largest shelter operation to date and our fastest demobilization ever. While group texts usually have a reputation of their own, the way we communicated during the storm was a bright spot and kept things running smoothly countywide. This was above and beyond the call of showing up, and we know your passion here was the key. Thank you for letting me mass text you at all hours, a real sacrifice as we all know. While we won't be giving an award for best shelter, as requested by some in the group text, LOL, we do believe you should be recognized. You may not know that my husband Keith and I are board members of the Trace Family Foundation, a nonprofit started by our family to help those in need locally, and one of our pillars is supporting education. For your leadership and willingness to help, we would like to donate $250 per school shelter to use as you see fit. You can treat your hurricane team to lunch or buy confetti cannons for school pep rallies. Or reward students and teachers who go above and beyond whatever you need. We will get the check to the school district office and then they will distribute the funds to you. We appreciate all that you do to build our future workforce, and we especially thank you for answering the call when our citizens need you most. Kelly. Kelly, please come up.
It's so nice to meet all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's chosen not to come tonight.
All right, that's for him.
Okay.
So, during a storm, most people want to remain with their families, right? Everybody wants to make sure that their house is okay. Putting self in front of others is really the role that everybody in public service takes on. And sometimes people wonder whether or not our folks actually put their money where their mouth is. And is there any better example of that than what took place during the hurricane? An absolutely horrible situation brings out the best in our community. And I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. Thank you to your teams. Thank you very much for the work that they've done to make sure that our community had a place to go when they were in need. So thank you, and let's try to get a picture if we can. So thank you guys. We all gotta get close, Kelly. You have to get No, Kelly. You have to be here. Dr. Henninger gives me a good opportunity to say, Dr. Henninger, would you mind going ahead and taking the picture?
And Dr. Winston too.
No, not yet. We're doing a separate thing for emergency management. She is taking the picture.
Nice try.
Yeah. What's that? She's been Dr. Winston.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can't believe I've stayed next to you this whole time.
And the magic trick is that we actually don't need the cord that's under here. How about that?
The secret's out.
Moving on to 2.01, reorganization of board and installment of new board members. Florida statutes 1001.371 and 100.0413A provide that in November of each year, the district school board shall organize by electing a chair. It may elect a vice chair, and the school district superintendent shall act ex officio as the secretary. At the organization meeting, the district school superintendent shall act as chair until the organization is completed. Additionally, Florida statute section 1010.07 requires school board members to be adequately bonded. Each board member is currently bonded as required by statute and serves a term of 4 years. Currently, the floor is now open for nominations for chairman of the school board of Osceola County. I don't have the lights. Yes, Ms. Garcia.
I would like to nominate Heather Cahoon.
All right, we have the nomination for chair. Heather Cahoon is chair from member Garcia. Do I have a second?
I second that.
Mr. Cook seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, congratulations, Chair. The floor is now open for school board vice chair.
I would like to nominate Ms. Castillo.
I have a nomination of Ms. Castillo. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Ms. Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Congratulations, Vice Chair Castillo.
Get ready though, you guys need to train up because
Yeah.
switching next year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we're great. We can't run this
Watch
thing.
and learn.
Sorry.
Is it time for me to take that?
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. A tentative schedule of board meeting times and dates have been placed at your seat. The schedule adheres to the required regular meeting of the second Tuesday of the month with a tentative special meeting on the fourth Tuesday of the month if required and designated by the superintendent or board chair. 6 workshop dates have been scheduled based on historical calendar data for facilities, budget, and rulemaking. Additional workshops may be added as requested by the school board or superintendent. Expulsion dates are noted on the day immediately following board meetings at 9 a.m. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion from Ms. Castillo. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second from,
Discussion.
we have to have a second and then we have discussion. Yes. Oh, thank you. Second by Mr. Cook. Any discussion?
I do have a conflict with the May 13th. I know in the past there's been opportunity to Zoom in for it. I don't know if that would be something, I know it has to be approved by the board. But I didn't know with knowing this far in advance if that's something that we can.
We can make any modifications that anybody wants to make. It has been, you just need to raise your hand. I don't have the screen in front of me.
Trying to follow procedure, Mr. Chair.
It has been past practice to allow teams or phone call to participate in board meetings. But yes, Ms. Castillo?
Thank you. And thank you for mentioning that because incidentally I may have a conflict too, so.
That's the week.
Yes, or that week.
Okay.
Autos, yes.
Ms. Garcia?
I have a conflict as well.
So it
Okay.
sounds like this is a no-go.
I don't have a conflict, I just want that to be all right.
So, Ms. Corrin?
So in order for a board meeting to occur, there has to be a quorum present in person. So while we can have people appear telephonically, if we do have 3 individuals already that will not be able to be here, we will not have a quorum in person.
So is that for May 13th?
All
Okay.
of us have comments.
Can we make a modification to the May board meeting now?
You can do it now, or my recommendation would be to approve it as it is and then come back to the next meeting and modify the calendar.
Okay. So I have a, Ms. Garcia? Oh, okay, you were turning off your light. All right, thank you. Any other comments? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, thank you. At this time, we will take a brief recess. We will reconvene momentarily, like in 10 seconds.
This meeting is reconvened. We are now on to our committee assignments. I just want to make note to the board members that on the list you're provided in front of you, we're going to do an additional committee. This one is codified in current policy that we have with how we can establish a committee. It's the ESC committee that we've been in discussion about at prior board meetings for those of you who have tuned in. With the ESC committee, we will be proposing one member from the community from each of our districts, and then there can also be a representative from the board. So if there is someone that is interested in being the representative from the board for that, I'll take that now.
I'm interested.
If everyone is good with Ms. Garcia doing that, we'll put her down as the board chair, the board representative, and then for the committee members, we don't have to present them tonight for any of the ones that have, we'll just at another time.
Is there an alternate or just one board representative?
I don't know, how have we done the school safety one? Because it would be similar to the safety one if there's an alternate or not.
There is not an alternate.
Okay,
for school.
I think we're good with just Ms. Garcia then. The audit committee, board members that are listed for vacant, you'll just need to get a representative to the team for that, as well as for the school safety advisory committee. It looks like all of us need to do new representatives for that one from the community.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I have a question about the school safety. I didn't realize I was the chair that was serving the committee.
I did not realize. I think when I spoke to the team the other day, they said it could be the chair or board member, I believe, because we had.
School board ruling is it's the chair or a designated.
I'm interested in serving the school safety advisory committee.
That's fine.
Unless anything else.
Okay. We're on to the business advisory board.
I have a comment on that. I do not want to serve, it was great, business advisory committee doing it. However, no, but in all seriousness, I do think that it should be a new board member because there is a lot of learning specifically on facilities and on our budget. So if I may take a moment of privilege to suggest a board member who wants to get up at 6 a.m. to attend that meeting, there is breakfast. So.
It's the Wednesday after board meeting, so just so you're clear, it is a commitment.
Yes.
At 7:30, that's when it starts. So, but I agree with Ms. Castillo, I think it's great for a new board member because you do learn a lot at those meetings. So if one of you.
You brave soul, cause how y'all just set that up.
No, but it's a good
It was
committee.
wild.
It's a good committee.
It was wild.
Okay.
It's y'all. Okay, you can still come.
Yeah, and they noted. I'm gonna turn off lights and let's just, we don't need to leave these lights for this, I don't think. The next one, Central Florida School Board Coalition. So we need one member and an alternate.
What's that?
So this is all of the school boards within the Central Florida area. They do a Teams call once a month, I believe. Anyone can attend as well, so even if you're not the designee or the alternate, you could jump on the Teams call and they just talk about different things that are happening in our area or things that are pertinent to what's going on in the education world and things.
Yeah.
You're on it? Teams call, let's go. Okay, so we have Mr. Cook as the designee. Do we have an alternate for that one? I'll do alternate on that one then. The Council on Aging, one representative.
Do we know when they meet? I'm not sure. I don't think anybody here was a board member. So anybody know when?
It's usually at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays, once a month.
In person.
Yes, at the Council on Aging.
I will take that.
And it's usually towards the end of the month.
Okay. The District Technology Committee.
I was a member of that committee last year, right?
We did not
meet. We did not meet, so. But we can, Mr. Thorne, right? If there's
Absolutely.
some wild, interesting thing that happens in technology.
ERP is coming.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
is
wait,
there a
that-
possibility
oh,
that
yeah.
it might with ERP?
It's a wild time.
Yeah.
It would be.
It would be.
I can take that again. Yeah. Unless anybody else is interested.
Oh, you sound really committed to that.
Yeah.
I was so committed last year,
Wild time.
Mr. Thorne.
The Education Foundation.
Taking it. Done.
You got it. I do want it at some point in time, though. I haven't been able to be on that one yet, but I think a new board member would be good.
I think that's wise.
So the Four Corners Board is myself and Ms. Castillo, because she's from District 1, and then we need another third person. Okay, so the Four Corners, I don't remember when we did this.
It's like once a quarter. We do, we can meet virtually, but typically we have a meeting here upstairs in the finance room, or we can meet at the school. I think it's a great board to better understand, the relationship between us and charter schools. So if you're, and this is something that everybody should know anyway, so I think someone who's interested in learning more about that would be great for that board.
Ms. Garcia, was that you? Did you just say something?
It is a good one. Their team is a great team.
It's a good team, yeah.
The Osceola the St. Cloud Chamber. In the past, we've always had District 5 do that one, if you're good with the St. Cloud Chamber.
Take that one too.
The Osceola Chamber. I would like to continue on that one, if no one else. The National Affiliate Advocacy Network. I don't know who's on this one.
Talk to me about what that is.
We have not actually, I don't think that this committee has met. So I could not tell you what specifically.
Do you have any details on this?
I do, they haven't met in several years. It's an as needed basis. And basically, I do have information on it, but it's just, again, I don't know that they've had it in at least 3 or 4 years.
I don't mind putting on that one and showing up if they have a meeting. The School Health Advisory Committee.
Who was that?
Garcia.
And then again, just reminder, School Advisory, Safety Advisory Committee, are we sending everything to Tanya? And you'll get it to me. The State Legislative Liaison, she says it's Ms. Castillo, and that we need one alternate.
But that's not until June. We don't pick that.
Okay, so we'll take care of that one in June. The Value Adjustment Board, it looks like we need one to represent and one alternate. I have done that one in the past. We met one time in the last year. Yes, they need a person at the courthouse. It's not terrible. I don't mind being the designee if no one else wants it. And then an alternate. Okay. that one, they don't have, it's not a set, it's only if they have something come up, it meets. And the last one is the Vocational Advisory Board.
Can you tell us about that? What is the vocational advisory board?
That I do not know.
I feel like it has something to do with like after high school.
I feel like that sounds like you.
It's right up my alley.
Right up your alley. Sounds good.
And
All
if
right.
it's not, I quit.
You can make it.
I'm just,
Set the
I will
agenda.
be committed.
Set the agenda.
Committed.
With that, we are done with our reorganization and installment of our new board members, and we're moving on to the rest of our meeting. We are on to 3.01, our Fine Arts Moment, which is 4 students from Neptune Middle School performing This Is Me.
This is me, never the words wanna cut me down.
we have Mr. Superintendent and Mama Cora to do the acknowledgement of the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program nominees.
Hello, everybody. I'm not Tim Burdett, as you can plainly see, but I'm going to sit here for him today. My name is Stephen Durego, the coordinator for Career in Tech Ed, and we're going to talk about a student that was nominated for the Presidential Scholar Award for Career in Tech Ed. This student's name is Jaden Graham, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about him real quick, the reason why he was nominated for this award. So Jaden took on the task to take a STEM camp at Neo City, and he designed the whole camp and offered it at Neo for other students to come from around the county to learn about artificial intelligence, engineering, and biodesign. The STEM camp was an opportunity for everyone to come in and see what Neo City offers. In preparation for this camp, Jaden trained all of his peers on topics such as classroom management and interactive lesson planning. Jaden also led the students in creating stations, DIY water filter, civil engineering and architecture, bristlebots, strawberry DNA extraction, electricity, flower dissection, Lego boat construction, and artificial intelligence. In addition to all that, he also actively searched for the grant to make it happen. Jaden has a passion for STEM programs, and he is our nominee for the Presidential Scholar Award. Jaden Graham.
Can Mama go up there with us? Congratulations, that's amazing. Just look at her.
I don't know if you guys know, but it's standing room only out there and in here. So I could not hear, I apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the second half. I just wanna take a moment to thank our principals and our college and career counselors and our school counselors that are here tonight, because we have representatives from all of the schools that we are going to highlight and introduce tonight. So just to give everyone a little bit of background, the U.S. Presidential Scholars Program was established in 1964 by the executive order of the president to recognize and honor some of our nation's most distinguished graduating high school seniors. Each year, up to 161 students are named as Presidential Scholars, one of the nation's highest honor for high school students. This nomination process asks that school district choose the nominee, only one nominee, one for each of 2 awards. Students are not allowed to nominate themselves. When selecting a district nominee, districts are asked to consider what makes the student stand out as having exceptional scholarship. But even beyond that, we need to think intentionally about any special challenges or hurdles the students have overcome while still achieving their high academic success, and how the student has exhibited involvement in their community or their school. This nomination is about looking beyond solely GPA and test scores and truly looking at the qualitative factors, including leadership and overcoming adversity. The College and Career Guidance Services team is proud to introduce the finalists for this prestigious honor. I have the absolute privilege of introducing tonight Aiden Berthel from Zenith Accelerated Academy. So really quickly, I need to tell you just a little bit about him. I walked onto Zenith's campus 2 weeks ago, and I was stopped by no more than about 5 teachers and counselors at the same time, because word got out that I was on a selection committee for this nominee, and I was told that favors needed to be called in for this student because this student is so amazing. When everyone describes this student to me, they literally say the words, "Nothing is going to hold me back." His future is in aerospace engineering. And if that is what you end up pursuing, we're so excited for you. But I just know with what you've overcome and what I've seen from you in such a short time, that you're gonna go off and accomplish anything you set your mind to. So it is my honor to introduce you tonight to the school board and our community as one of our finalists for this incredible nomination.
We're gonna get the family if that's okay.
If you are here for him, come on.
Good evening. I am Yvette Ponzo, the very proud principal of Neal City Academy. It is my honor to give this certificate to Jaden Graham. Jaden is the Flips nonprofit founder, the Neal City STEM Camp founder, and serves as a leader in over 11 student organizations, both at Gateway High School and at Neal City Academy. Jaden. Thank you.
Hello guys, I'm Chris Arrington. I'm one of the school counselors at Osceola Virtual School. Our nominee, Shania Oliva, she could not be with us tonight, but I still wanted to be here to collect her certificate to be able to give that to her later. And so accepting on her behalf is Mrs. Marsha Clevenger, the principal of Osceola Virtual. Shania is one of my seniors and she has earned several industry certifications. She's dual enrolled through Valencia College. She helps with the child care at her church, and she runs kind of her own little pet sitting business for various families all over her community. So I'm sure she'll be happy whenever she gets this award from us.
Hello, everyone. I am the College and Career Counselor for Topeka High School, and it is my pleasure to nominate Jacob Antonio Matthew. I have a lot to say about him, but I'll try to keep it simple and short. But his parents raised an amazing and brilliant, kind and empathetic student. Whenever I see him, he's always smiling at me and greeting me with a yes ma'am, good morning, and I absolutely love that about him. He's also kind to his peers, and I strongly wanted him to be nominated because of his strong work ethic. I can talk a lot about his academic rigor and his merit, but what stands out is his amazing heart. Today, he received nomination from Congressman Darren Soto on his consideration to the United States Naval Academy. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you Jacob Antonio Matthew for this nomination. Our principal, Mr. Arska, to also come up and present this to him.
Congratulations.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Kennedy, proud principal of Osceola High School, and tonight it is my proud privilege to talk to you about Ethan Ortiz Valencia. Ethan is projected to finish his senior year with over 300 hours of community service, including projects around awareness of healthy lifestyles amongst elementary, middle, and high school students, serving the most in need, providing food and personal items to the homeless, and fundraising for different organizations in our school to continue providing academic and social opportunities for our students. His mom and dad are also quite amazing, and I know them very well. So Ethan, come on up. We're gonna get Mom as well. She's one of our amazing school counselors and Dad.
As you guys know, I learned from the best, and we don't know how to go small in college and career. We had 6 incredible standout students, and even though we could only nominate one, we did want to make sure that these students were recognized at the greatest level, because for a school to sit and look at every single senior enrolled in their school and come up with one name is work that I no longer envy, because it's hard. Our last nominee is about to be introduced. I'm going to bring Karen Gill up, the college and career counselor from the Osceola County School for the Arts, and she will be introducing our official nominee on behalf of our school district.
Good evening. It is my honor to have nominated Momo Sutton as the U.S. Presidential Scholar for our district. Momo's work ethic in her academics is equally matched by her brilliant creative attention to detail within her writings as a creative writing major and her desire and pursuit of perfection within her craft. She is unparalleled by modern day students. In addition to her rigorous academic and artistic commitments and successes, she has maintained a rigorous sports swimming competition schedule over the past 9 years and recently earning a position on the Team USA Paralympic Emerging Swimmers team. She has been published numerous times and has been named a Disney Dreamer and Doer Essay Contest winner. She is the epitome of the thoughtful, driven scholar, both in her academics as well as her arts. And she uses both to create strong community, both at school and within the community at large. Momo has embraced her disability with grace and perseverance and has made the most of every opportunity that has come her way because of it. It is my honor to present to you the District U.S. Presidential Scholar nominee.
That's incredible. No pressure.
Team Momo.
So you stand next to her.
I don't think it matches my shoes. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Did Jaden leave? You guys can
Get in really tight, guys.
Congratulations.
Now we are on to Mr. Noble, the recognition of Bill Litton, Osceola County Emergency Management Director.
Bill, if I could ask you to come up. Good evening, Board. It's with great pleasure that I'm here this evening to recognize Bill Litton, the Osceola County Emergency Management Director. During our severe weather events, most recently Hurricane Milton, Bill leads the effort to ensure all county and school district leaders have the most current information and helps to guide everyone in the right direction to keep our community safe. Our school district has created a strong collaborative relationship with the Emergency Operations Center under the direction of Bill Litton, and we're proud to be able to work with him throughout the school year. It's my honor to present the certificate of recognition to Bill Litton for the demonstration of his leadership, foresight, and unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of the residents of Osceola County. Congratulations, Bill.
Look at that. Great.
Way to go. Thanks for everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Last but not least, our final recognition tonight is Sunrise Elementary School as the 2023-2024 Silver Level Everglades Champion. I invite Alyssa Saldariaga from the Everglades Foundation up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to come here today and recognize Sunrise Elementary as the first ever public champion school in Osceola County. I have some words that I'm going to go ahead and share just to go over some of their amazing accomplishments. So they were recognized as a silver level school based on their achievements in Everglades professional development, implementing Everglades literacy into their curriculum, and promoting Everglades interdisciplinary projects and field experiences, and these practices that all incorporate the Everglades as a part of their school culture. Throughout the school year, Zaira Peña-Andino, in collaboration with her co-leader Laurel Burks-Kilman and Principal Melissa Ortiz, spearheaded a remarkable effort to deepen the understanding of the Everglades ecosystem among their fellow educators, staff, and students. I even got to train their teachers on a Saturday, which is amazing because not a lot of teachers want to give up their free time on a Saturday. And they all came out to embrace Everglades awareness and promote it within their school. They embraced this commitment through raising awareness by doing an agro hour on the last Friday of every month. They were designed to engage students in Everglades literacy, focusing on topics like local habitats and plant identification, just to name a few. The school also gave students field experiences through their school grounds with hydroponic farms and at the environmental center, where students embarked on observation walks documenting their findings, to name a few. These immersive experiences are a testament to Sunrise Elementary's dedication to fostering a culture that connects students with their environment, an approach that highlights the importance of our own backyard Everglades ecosystem. Through the collaborative efforts of Zaira, her team, and the entire school, it is clear that Sunrise is instilling in their students a lasting appreciation and understanding of our Everglades. That's all I got.
Get over here, BK.
There you go.
Everybody say Everglades.
Everglades.
now on to appointments and transfers. So I give it back over to Dr. Shannon for this moment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have 3 appointments tonight. First appointment is for Assistant Principal at Osceola High School, Zamira Rivera. Zamira Rivera has held the following positions: teacher at Liberty High, ESOL Program Specialist for Osceola School District Multicultural Department, Dean of Students at Zenith Accelerated Learning Academy, and Dean of Students at Tohoku-Kaliga High. She received a bachelor's degree in elementary education, English, secondary, and elementary, and a master's degree in educational management and leadership.
So moved. Second. There's a motion by Ms. Castillo, a second by myself. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you. I am deeply honored and grateful for the opportunity of being appointed as the new assistant principal of the Osceola High School. I want to thank GAD. I want to thank the Osceola School Board members. I want to thank Dr. Shannon. Thank you, Mr. Arstat, for the inspiring leadership and unwavering support. To Dr. Evans, to Dr. Peñalosa. Thank you for recognizing my potential, and to everyone who has stood by my side, encouraging and supporting me every step of the way. To my family, my husband Jose, my kids Angeli, Jomaira, Gabriel, and my mother Evelyn, for their patience and for always being by my side. Also, I want to thank my incredible co-workers who have become more than friends, extended families. Your support means the world to me. Tohoku-Kaliga High School will always hold a special place in my heart. I'm excited to join Dr. Kennedy and the leadership team at the amazing Cowboy Nation as we embark on this new journey together, striving for excellence and achieving great things. Thank you all for believing in me and providing me with this opportunity.
The next appointment for your approval is Joyce Mackey to be the new assistant principal of Michigan Avenue Elementary. Joyce Mackey has held the following positions: teacher and media specialist at Cypress Elementary and media specialist and testing coordinator at Lakeview Elementary. She has a master's degree in educational leadership from Florida Atlantic University.
So moved. Motion by Ms. Castillo. A second by Mr. Cook. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am deeply honored and humbled to stand before you today as the new assistant principal of Michigan Avenue Elementary. This moment is a significant milestone in my career, and it would not have been possible without the support and encouragement of many incredible individuals. First and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Shanoff, the school board, Dr. Reyes, and district leadership. Thank you for entrusting me with this important responsibility. Your confidence in my abilities means the world to me. And I am committed to working tirelessly to uphold the high standards of Michigan Avenue Elementary School. To my mentors, both past and present, your guidance has been invaluable. Your wisdom, patience, and unwavering support shaped my professional journey. I'm especially grateful to Mr. Vasquez, who couldn't be here today, Dr. Cleveland, and Dr. Krebs for their mentorship and for always believing in my potential. Your influence has been instrumental in my growth as an educator and leader. To my family and friends, your love and encouragement have been my foundation. To my parents, thank you for instilling in me the values of hard work and perseverance. To my husband, Jim, and my 5 children, it's a blended family, they have been offered unwavering support and understanding, and they've been my rock. Their support through going back to school after 20 years and pursuing this dream has meant more to me than they'll ever realize. And to all of my other friends and family, thank you for always being there to cheer me on and lift me up. To my Lakeview family, thank you for all the encouragement and support you have given me over the last 10 years. My time with each of you has helped me grow as a leader, and I wouldn't be where I am today without you. Lastly, I want to thank Ms. Nichols and the entire school community of Michigan Avenue. I'm excited to collaborate with all of you to maintain Michigan Avenue's reputation of excellence. Together, we will continue to make a positive impact on every child's life. Thank you once again for this incredible opportunity. I am eager to embark on this journey with everyone and look forward to the great things we'll achieve together. Thank you.
The last appointment is for Tyon Downing. He will be the new Coordinator of Safety, Security, and Emergency Management. Tyon Downing has held the following positions: United States Marine Corps Master Sergeant, Arizona Highway Patrol, Lieutenant for Allied Barton Security Services, Veteran Services for the Department of Economic Security, Police Officer, Senior Police Officer, Captain, Lieutenant Supervisory Police, and Major and Acting Deputy Chief for the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. He earned a bachelor's degree in Homeland Security, an MBA, and a master's degree in Criminal Justice from the American Military University. He also attended the United States Marine Corps Leadership Academy in Camp Foster and Senior Leadership Academy at Quantico, Virginia.
So moved. Second. I have a motion by Ms. Castillo, a second by myself. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes.
All right, and he is actually in Ohio, moving down shortly. So he's watching. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
With that, we are recessing our board meeting for our board workshop for the 2024-25 rulemaking cycle B with Mr. Boyd. I do want to make a note real quick. There is no public comment during this workshop session. We will take your public comment if you put one in for one of the policies that is in this rulemaking during regular public comment if you are interested in staying for that time, but just so you know, you do not have an opportunity to speak during the workshop session.
Good evening, school board members and Dr. Shanoff. Pursuant to sections 120.54 and 120.81 Florida statutes, public notices were published in the Osceola News Gazette on September 11th, 2024 for both our rulemaking workshop tonight, November 19th, and our public hearing that is scheduled for Tuesday, December 10th. For tonight's board workshop, school district staff members and I have prepared proposed revisions to the school board rules and student progression plan. These proposed revisions address school district policy needs and ensure compliance with changes in state and/or federal laws and their interpretations by our school board attorney, the Northeast Florida Educational Consortium, NEFEC, formerly Educational Management Consultant Services, and the Florida Department of Education and Florida State Board of Education. A summary and drafts of all proposed revisions are attached to this agenda item. At this time, school district staff does not request any school board action on these proposed revisions during this rulemaking workshop for information purposes only. For the public's information, I shall read a summary of these proposed revisions into the public record, and I will do so again on December 10th at the public hearing. Chair Cahoon has indicated about public comment already for this meeting, and there will be an opportunity for public comment, especially at the public hearing and at the next meeting on December 10th. The public hearing that is scheduled at that time will be the date that action will be sought for any of these proposed revisions, which would become effective on that date or any date listed in the proposed revision itself. With that, I'll begin reading the summary into the public record. Tonight, we have 5 proposed new school board rules. The first is 3.81, school chaplains. It creates a new policy to establish the volunteer school chaplain program per section 1012.461 Florida statutes. This program is optional, but a policy is required by the statute if the school board approves this program. School Board Rule 8.604, data classification. This is one of several new rules proposed tonight under the umbrella of data governance. This rule for data classification creates new policy to establish the school district's data governance policy, specifically how data is to be collected, used, shared, and disposed of, while also ensuring compliance with federal and state laws, including the Florida Educational Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA, and the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. Rule 8.605, Identity and Access Management, creates new policy to establish the school district's data governance policy in relation to the requirements necessary to ensure that access to and use of the school district's information resources are managed in accordance with business requirements, information security requirements, and other school district policies and procedures. Rule 8.606, Information Security, creates new policy to establish the school district's governance policy for a framework from which other information security policies may be developed to ensure the school district can efficiently and effectively manage, control, and protect its own information assets and those entrusted to the school district by others. Rule 8.607, Media Protection, creates new policy to establish the school district's governance policy for the purposes of the school district's Division of Information Technology, controls, access to, and disposes of media resources in compliance with the school district's policies and procedures. The next set of rules are currently existing school board rules for which revisions to them are proposed. Rule 2.50, Participation in Activities, adds paragraphs 2 through 5 to reflect the requirements within Section 1001.39 Florida statutes for reimbursement of approved travel expenses for school board members. Rule 3.23, Emergencies, adds paragraphs 5 through 14 to clarify expectations and additional compensation for designated essential employees during emergency events. Rule 5.141, School Choice, revises paragraphs 10A1 and 10A2 to clarify student behavior expectations and disciplinary consequences for the purpose of revocation of choice assignments. Rule 5.142, Post-secondary enrollment programs, adds paragraph 7 to clarify that pursuant to section 1007.271, the school board shall make reasonable efforts to enter into dual enrollment articulation agreements with a Florida college system institution that offers online dual enrollment courses. Rule 5.34, expulsion or alternative placement of students, adds paragraph 4 to establish a program in which qualified individuals external to the school district shall serve as expulsion hearing officers. Adds paragraph 5 to clarify that the school board retains its authority to make the final decision of whether a student is to be expelled. Revises paragraph 6 to clarify that the superintendent or designee is authorized to create related procedures. Rule 5.80, athletics, adds paragraphs 8 through 10 to clarify that an electrocardiogram, ECG, is required for students in order to participate in interscholastic athletics and to authorize the superintendent or designee to create related procedures. Rule 6.33, alcohol and drug-free workplace, adds paragraph 5 to clarify that the superintendent shall consistently recommend to the school board for final action the termination of the employee for positive findings of unprescribed controlled substances or alcohol. Adds paragraph 6 to require that an employee who self-reports substance abuse problems prior to any incident requiring drug testing shall be provided the school district's Employee Assistance Program, EAP, and related leave time if warranted. Rule 6.34, political activities of employees, adds paragraph 2 to define specific prohibited political activities during work hours pursuant to school district employees' duties. Adds paragraph 3 to distinguish between prohibited political activities for employees and student government-related activities for students. Rule 7.71, selecting professional services, adds paragraph 4 pursuant to section 255.103 Florida statutes to increase the continuing contract amount for construction projects to $7.5 million. Rule 9.30, community use of facilities. Adds paragraph 5 to clarify control of access to property owned, controlled, and leased by the school district, to define and distinguish among areas that are designated public forum, limited designated public forum, and non-public forum in accordance with state and federal law, to establish limits upon where audio and video recording may take place on school district property in accordance with state and federal law, to define prohibited conduct on property owned, controlled, and leased by the school district, to authorize the superintendent to create related procedures to implement this policy, and to require the posting of a copy of this policy at all entrances to property owned, controlled, and leased by the school district. The next set of changes are all related to revisions within the student progression plan. This revises the document to comply with recent changes in state law and to provide consistency with school district precedent and current practice, where feasible actual statutes are cited. Page 1 revises obviously the title to reflect the new school year, updates revision date on the title page to reflect the effective date. Page 3 revises contributors page to include new school board members and administrators. Page 21 replaces permanent and with transfer regarding placement for exceptional student education ESE students who transfer to the school district. Page 24 adds policy language to permit excused absences for 4-H and Future Farmers of America FFA participation, and this is pursuant to section 1003.24 Florida statutes. Page 27 adds the phrase based on data and information presented during the meeting regarding ESE students with excessive absences. Page 27 also adds additional criteria for eligibility for ESE students in order to be classified as hospital homebound. Page 29 removes obsolete policy language regarding withdrawals of ESE students. Pages 30 through 31, page 63, page 69, and page 118 all do the following. Adds policy language to reflect early learning through 20 and adds pre-kindergarten throughout. That's in accordance with what is in state statute. Provide targeted support and remedial and supplemental instruction resources for voluntary pre-kindergarten VPK students who have been referred to the school district and who have substantial deficiencies in early literacy or early math skills. To establish that retention requirements for students in grades kindergarten through 2 shall be based upon performance in English language arts and math, and to require notification to parents of students in grades kindergarten through 2 who are retained, an opportunity for parental input on the retention decision, and information on the importance of students mastering early literacy and communication skills in order to be reading by grade level at the end of grade 3. And this is all in accordance with revisions in the last legislative session to section 1008.25 Florida statutes. Page 44 adds policy language that a certified school counselor or other designated school employee shall inform students and parents during course selection for middle school about the career and professional academy or career-themed courses available within the school district. This is in accordance to revisions to section 1003.4935 Florida statutes. Pages 45 and 55 address policy language and revise it to include that a certified school counselor or other designated school employee shall inform students who withdraw from high school of opportunities in the graduation alternative to traditional education GATE program pursuant to section 1003.21 Florida statutes. Page 48 updates the list of classifications for ESE students to reflect current Florida Department of Education nomenclature. Page 49 replaces the section title ESE Curriculum with Curriculum Access and IEP Implementation. Adds that placement on access points shall occur only if all eligibility requirements are met, clarifies that instruction via access points standards is the most appropriate means of providing access to the general curriculum for some ESE students. Page 67 removes obsolete policy language regarding the promotion of ESE students. Page 69 adds policy language to establish the Summer Bridge program for VPK students who score below the 10th percentile on the final administration of the CSPM in accordance with Section 1008.25 Florida statutes. And that CSPM is the Continued Progress Monitoring Test. Page 69 through 70 adds policy language to require that students with a substantial deficiency in reading grades K through 3 or math grades K through 4 must have an individualized progress monitoring plan that is developed within 45 days after the results of the coordinated screening and progress monitoring CSPM system become available. An immediate written notification of specific items to the parent of any student who exhibits a substantial deficiency in reading or math, and specifies the requests that a parent can make regarding students with a substantial deficiency in reading or math, and students being promoted to grade 4 with a good cause exemption. Page 71 removes obsolete policy language regarding the multi-tiered systems of supports process and gifted students. Page 91 clarifies that students with disabilities are taught on general education standards and who are working toward a standard high school diploma are expected to participate in the FAST and Florida EOC assessments. Page 93 deletes the obsolete definition of student with disability. Pages 97 through 100 removes obsolete policy language that has sunset. Page 101 deletes during and after the 2014-15 school year and/or special diploma. Pages 108 and 110 removes obsolete policy language regarding special diplomas that are no longer permitted per state law. And lastly, page 125 replaces Florida Standards Assessment with Florida Standards Assessment, Florida Assessment of Student Thinking, FAST, and replaces Florida Standards Alternate Assessment with Florida Alternate Assessment. And all of these are proposed and will be brought back to you on December 10th at the public hearing. Thank you.
We're now open for board discussion, and I have Ms. Castillo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Sean, thank you so much for your reading of this. I know it's a lot. I have some questions specifically for Rule 3.81. You may not have the answer to these questions, as I know that this is a draft and we're still working on it, and this is based on the statute. But if you don't have the answer, I would like for you to send me the answers via email, and copy the other board members, since we will be voting on these as well. My first question is regarding the language in the statute, specifically stating that the chaplains would be allowed to be with students on their own. We are to require a private room for students and the chaplain to meet. Did I read that correct? And that is also in the policy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but these are, the chaplains will be volunteers, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, according to the policies and rules for our current OASIS volunteers, they are not ever to be left alone with students or a group of students. They are always to be with a coordinator or in the OASIS office. So how are we to reconcile those two things? And if we don't know, then that would be something that I would hope that we can find answers to.
Yes, ma'am, we will. I will get with staff and Dr. Shanoff and we'll provide a response to you.
Thank you for that. My additional question is regarding the language that states that chaplains are to report suspicions of child abuse. I know that is in policy. However, my question is regarding liability. At the moment, anyone in our school district, and please correct me if I'm wrong about this, if one of our employees does not report suspicion of child abuse, the school district is liable for that.
And the employee, their
And the employee as
certifications
well?
on the line.
Who would be liable if the chaplain fails to do so?
I will have to get back to you on that answer.
Thank you. That is important. My additional question is regarding potential litigation exposure. I know that we have allocations for litigation, and I'm wondering, and this is specifically for our attorney, if we have any idea what the risk of potential litigation is. If we can assign a number to that, that would be helpful, since that is a budget implication.
I'm happy to provide that to you.
Do you have that now?
I have looked into it and it's really going to depend on the draft of the policy that was passed, if it was passed. If there was litigation from this, it would be federal litigation because it is discrimination, and that could be very expensive. I have spoken with colleagues and there's really no estimate because a case could be small or large, but discrimination cases can be 6 and 7 figures, so it can really range depending on the matter. It's not just also about what our exposure is, but it's about what the cost would be to litigate those issues. I have done a brief analysis, but I would prefer to do a more in-depth analysis and provide that to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. I have an additional question regarding the effectiveness of the program. This is, I think Dr. Shanoff, you might be the best person to speak on this, whether it's now, probably not, or whether it's in the future. We have trained professionals that we pay in order to help students with mental health issues. This would be an additional service, and I'm wondering if there would be any kind of evaluation process for us to know if this is actually helping students. And those are all the questions I have for now. Thank you.
I see no other lights, but I do have a question as well in regards to 3.81. I don't see any language around the length of the visit, duration of visits, and frequency of visits. So I'm just curious as to how that will be handled as well, especially in regards to students missing class time, where this will fall within their schedule, if it will fall during academic instruction, and whatnot. So some clarification on that is something I'd like to follow up with as well.
Thank you.
I have no other lights at this time. Is there any other discussion from board members? Ms. Castillo, you're recognized.
I apologize, Madam Chair, and especially if I'm taking more than my 2 minutes. I missed this question, but the statute, and I believe that our policy as well, does state that chaplains are not to criticize any beliefs or, I'm gonna say preach to students, or have any disciplinary authority. What would be the mechanism for us to ensure that this isn't happening, especially based on my first concern, which is we have chaplains in a private room, one-on-one with our students. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Alright, with that, we have no more discussion, so our rulemaking cycle workshop has now ended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Board, and thank you, Dr. Shanoff.
With that, we are going to reconvene our regularly scheduled meeting. We are on to 6.01, the approval of our agenda. Dr. Shanoff, do you have any agenda modifications?
Yes, we have one blue sheeted item, 12.03. 12.03 is the approval of the agreement with United Data Technologies, and we will be removing 1601 from the agenda.
Thank you. Excuse me, I'll go with you next. Do you have any agenda modifications?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Garcia, any agenda modifications?
No.
Mr. Cook, any agenda modifications? Ms. Bronson, any agenda modifications? No. With that, we are set to approve our agenda with adding the blue sheeted item 12.03 and removing 16.01. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted with adding the blue sheet item 12.03 and the removal of item 16.01.
I have a motion by Ms. Castillo. Second by Mr. Cook. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes.
I make a motion
I think we have 14.
Motion to approve item 1503.
A motion by Ms. Castillo. I'll second it. Motion by Ms. Castillo, second by myself. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to approve 1601.
That one was pulled. That's the one that's pulled.
Oh, so sorry. Thank you, Mr. Cook. Motion to approve 1701.
I have a motion by Ms. Castillo. Second by Mr. Cook. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. 18.16.
Motion to approve Madam Chair.
A motion by Ms. Castillo.
Second.
Second by Ms. Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. We are now on to public comment. Franklin Munoz Jr.
I'm gonna lower the mic, not because I'm a short guy, I'm just big in stature. I just wanted to say a comment on this public comment about the chaplaincy program. I just wanted to take into account that the chaplaincy program, I believe, is something that should be approved and something that does look forward. Right now, I serve as the Metro Director for FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And when I talk to a lot of these students, I see a lot of students always hesitant to ask me, is it okay if we pray? Is it okay? Now, my program, we do run out of school hours, so either after school or during their lunch, so we don't interrupt class time. And I understand that, but a lot of times, we're only there once a week, and having a chaplain there would help when a student, because a student is more than just a student, we're talking about body, mind, and soul. And the reality is when you give an opportunity for a student to feel comfortable enough that they could express their faith, where they could just be able to share, because we're talking about a chaplaincy program, not a specific religion, not a specific gender, nothing like that. And for me, it's important because of the mental health that we have going on. Developing leadership, being able to focus on identity and character, being able to actually be there for a student. What I'm asking for is to allow us to come together as a community. It doesn't have to be a division. And I look at this because as I serve these students and I see their potential, for me, one of the biggest things that I see is that I want these students to be seen and not just viewed. They're already spending enough time on social media. And the reality is we get the opportunity to be able to make them feel comfortable enough where they could go establishing their faith. They're there with chaplaincies that we could attack different issues that we're trained for to be there for them. Outside of the schools, a lot of counselors are super busy, or it's just another student, or it's just by having a chaplain there, and however the schedule may look or the opportunities that we get, it's volunteer. It's something that we want to do to be there to support and just be genuine. So my thing is, I just wanted to come up here and just ask you guys to really consider, after we have these questions answered, to passing out the chaplaincy program. Thank you.
Ariel Samabria.
Good evening. My name is Ariel Sanabria. And I serve. No problem. I serve as the lead pastor for Soul City Church in St. Cloud, Florida. And let me just say congratulations to all our new board members. Thank you for your service, and I look forward to working with all of you in shaping the future of our students. I am here, of course, in favor of the chaplaincy program. I hope that we can work together to come up with a plan, a policy of how we can move this forward. Not only do I represent Soul City Church, but I also represent hundreds of parents all over Osceola County. I am also an ordained minister with the Assemblies of God, arguably one of the largest Christian organizations in the world. And we have hundreds of churches all over the state of Florida. So I represent, I'm a board member for the Clergy Association. So there's a lot of clergy, a lot of parents that are for this program. And so I represent them this evening, continuing to ask me, when will the program be implemented? How would it work? And so I know there's a lot of opposition, a lot of fear mongering, a lot of threats of lawsuits and all this. At the end of the day, students need both the highest level of education, and there's also a spiritual problem in which many people are not trained in handling the spiritual effects. We know that anxiety is at an all-time high thanks to social media. And so I think that our students, our parents who give permission for their students to see a chaplain of their choice, whatever faith that may be, I think we owe it to them and to the students so that in the time of need, whether that be during school hours, they have an issue, an emotional outburst, an anxiety issue, that they have at least a chaplain of their choice that they can go and speak with at that moment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Abigail Evans.
Hi, my name is Abigail Evans. I'm a nurse practitioner. I work in psychiatry and as well as family care. I have 3 children that attend Osceola County Schools. I work for the school district in a primary care and psychiatric capacity at the Center for Employee Health. So my children have been going here for 3 years. They go to OXA, they love OXA. My concerns are with the chaplaincy program and some of the problems that might be involved in that. Public education is supposed to be for everyone. It's meant to be inclusive for all people and all religions. And I really believe that public education should not be a political field in which we are trying to enact culture wars on our kids. If you choose to educate your children in a way that is religious, there are hundreds of churches in the county. There are also many Christian schools. If your kids need spiritual help, there is plenty of opportunity for them to have that, but it does not belong in our public schools. What we need in our public schools are people with licenses who are trained to help children. I work in psychiatry, I work with children. People who are not trained can have such a detrimental effect. In this state and every state, we have licenses because we have a minimum standard of education and a minimum standard of care in which we are required to meet in order to be able to practice, whether that be in healthcare, whether it's somebody who cuts your hair. We have a minimum standard. There is no minimum standard for a chaplain. I know many pastors who are very, very educated, and I know many pastors who have absolutely no education in their field. I have a lot of the same concerns as Ms. Castillo brought up as far as having a child alone in a room with an untrained, very little background check person who has a specific agenda. Now, we all want to help children, right? But you have no way of documenting what goes on in that room. You have no documentation process set up to talk about what the child has talked through with that chaplain. If your child needs spiritual assistance, that is available. The appropriate place for that is not in the school. If they need mental health help, they need to be seen by a licensed professional who is trained in child education and who has been trained in child psychiatry and psychology. This is not a place for your local pastor. Thank you.
David Williamson.
Good evening, congratulations, and welcome to the new members. David Williamson, 83 Geneva Drive, Oviedo. I serve on the board of directors of the Interfaith Council of Central Florida and on the Central Florida Commission for Religious Freedom, but I'm here today on behalf of the Central Florida Free Thought community. Our organization, along with a coalition of faith and secular organizations, oppose the proposed chaplain policy because students are free to access spiritual leaders outside of school, and because allowing untrained chaplains to provide critical services not only endangers students, but also wastes educational resources and creates substantial legal liability. We all want the very best for students, and we want all the resources that we can muster for them to achieve success. But there are reasonable limits as to what the schools should provide. Nowhere are you tasked with the spiritual well-being of students. This isn't by accident, it's because religious freedom is a fundamental right that rests solely with the people and not the government. I believe in the good that people of faith can do, and I want to preserve their right to exercise that faith. but that right does not extend onto your school campuses. The reason we've never before spoken seriously about allowing clergy into public schools is because it has been and remains unconstitutional. If it weren't, then there would already be clergy roaming the halls of public schools around the country having private conversations about religion during the school day in offices paid for by our tax dollars. But they're nowhere to be found because of the most fundamental freedom we have, that government cannot promote religion in this fashion. A fresh new state law that hasn't been to court cannot preempt the establishment clauses of the state of Florida and U.S. constitutions. I'm pleased you're getting good advice on why you may not pick and choose your chaplains, nor determine if they're properly trained, nor verify if they're even members of clergy. To do so would be discriminatory, and I appreciate that the updated policy reflects that. To recap, your chaplains will have no training, no certification, and no ordination as a member of clergy. That means everyone is eligible. Anyone who can pass an in-state only, name only, criminal background and history and employment history check, no fingerprints needed. No seminary training, no chaplain certification, not even an online training course. In fact, these volunteers, clergy or not, Christian or not, can claim any religion they like. Will parents do their homework on the chaplains that you provide? Is all that someone needs to do is claim to be a Christian chaplain to get access to your students, even if they don't have their best interest in mind? The best solution is clearly to vote no on a chaplain policy to keep your students safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Blanca Perez.
Let me bring this down. Hello and welcome to the new school board members. My name is Blanca Perez and I need my glasses. I'm a parent and Osceola County resident. I work to improve the communication skills and counsel families as a speech pathologist in private practice. Prior to this, I have 16 years of experience in the public schools. And to be placed in the public trust to help children, I was required to complete extensive educational requirements, including a master's degree, which has counseling components. I'm here to express my opposition to chaplains in the public schools. I see a few issues with this program. The first is that U.S. board members will allow unqualified members of the public to access vulnerable children. And I use the word counsel loosely in the statement, as it may not be professional counseling that they get, but religious proselytizing, which may be doing more harm than good. If you truly care about children as board members, it is your duty to ensure the people you put in front of children first do no harm. And allowing clergy and others with no formal training access to the public school children that you are responsible for is, in my opinion, neglectful if you do decide to move forward with this program. The public schools require teachers and therapy professionals like me to use evidence-based practices to achieve effective results and to protect against lawsuits. It's very nice to think that clergy are qualified to speak with children and that they're as qualified to speak with children as people with master's degree and PhDs in child behavioral science, but that is not the reality. You may have some clergy that are not as open to children who are members of marginalized groups such as the LGBT+ community, and may intimidate them over their sexual orientation, which could lead to higher suicide rates in these groups of children. How can you avoid clergy members with bona fide beliefs that homosexuality is a sin from making an LGBT child feel worse about themselves when their so-called counselor you allowed into the public school tells them that their sexual orientation is the problem? Instead of parents, what may be actually the source of their problem is the pressure that they get from their family regarding their sexual orientation to begin with. Okay, my notes are very scribbly, but I wanted to say that chaplains were originally intended to provide religious supports to incarcerated individuals or those that maybe are hospitalized and do not have access to religious supports. However, students in public schools, they're only spending around 20% of their day at school, and they have the remainder of their day to be dedicated to spirituality as their families, within their family's preference. I hope that you make the right decision and aren't influenced by the promise that all clergy will have access to be as professional as some claim they may be. Unless you have the educational requirements from an accredited college or university, allowing this program into the schools is dangerous and thank you for your time.
Michael Mello.
Good evening, everyone, and I want to first welcome the 3 new board members. My family, friends, and neighbors voted for one of you that had 20 years of experience in education over a cattle rancher, put in place for more political reasons. So I want to, and that's why I'm here tonight. The last board had people that had more political or theocratic reasons to be on this board instead of focused on education. And I'm hoping the board values education of our children over political or religious motivations. And I have to say, this is a much more professional board this time than we typically have. I think a lot of you can agree with that. The last board wanted to put in place what, in my opinion, is an unconstitutional, harmful, and divisive program that is being used as a political stunt and Christian outreach program over something that is generally about helping children. This is not only my opinion, but the opinion of the ACLU and 30 other civil rights organizations and over 300 religious leaders. And I just send this to my representative for this district so that she can share it with everyone else. So over 300 religious leaders, including Christian leaders, disagree with this policy. Any program should be based on educational requirements only, not religious ones. Which brings me to the first legal issue. I can nearly guarantee you that right now the Satanic Temple is live streaming this event on their social media platforms, and their leader even flew down to speak to a past school board meeting here in Osceola County, and they're very excited to gain access to public school children. And if you block them from having the same access as the Christians talking tonight want to have, you'll be violating the Establishment Clause of the Constitution. As you allow only your religion, you must allow all. So if you vote yes to this, you're voting to allow Satanists into schools and as well. So something as a parent of Osceola County, I prefer that you don't do. Here's another issues. Article 6, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution states that no religious test shall ever be required as qualification to any public office, public trust under the United States. This program is written with blatant religious tests to hold public trust. That being that you're required to be a member of the clergy, that might have changed since I wrote this. So, and then what's more important is in the 1943 Supreme Court case of West Virginia State Board of Education versus Barnett, the Supreme Court found that students themselves have the right not to participate in religious or national rituals as it violates the students' First and Fourth Amendments rights. So the lawmakers who created this program rejected the requirement that the students themselves consent to participate in this program. Thus, you as school board members will be forcing children to participate in religious counseling that they may not consent to participate in. And I think that could do more harm than good. Each of you have a decision tonight, or whenever you make the decision. You can decide to put this divisive and questionable policy to rest and tell people who want this program they should talk to their pastors about implementing it in their churches if they so passionately believe in it. If spirituality is important to parents or children, they should seek the appropriate religious organization to fulfill that need, not the public school system. They have a plethora of churches to choose from, all with pastors who would welcome them in their congregations and provide the support they so desperately want to get for their children for a 10% tithe. Or you can vote to implement it and be dealing with issues where you most likely have many lawsuits with civil rights organizations. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you.
David Chivers.
Welcome new members and past members as well. My name is David Chivers. I live at 1603 Regal Oak Drive here in Kissimmee. I'm a retired lawyer and served 3 terms as an administrative judge. I'm here again to urge you not to implement the bill bringing chaplains into the Osceola schools. Over 1/4 of Americans now list the religion as none, and yet this policy would set up 2 classes of people, those who profess religion and those who do not, and it favors those who profess a religion. The problem for a government entity such as a school board is that the U.S. Constitution requires that all citizens have equal protection under the law, and therefore a law that favors one class over another is suspect. Using religion as a reason to favor one group over another is especially suspect, since the Constitution, it should be remembered, mentions religion not at all in the main document, and then mentions it only in the First and Sixth Amendments, allowing for the free exercise of religion, but allowing no establishment of religion by government, and the Sixth Amendment, which specifically states there shall be no religious test to hold office. The Constitution does not mention God at all. The brilliance of the Constitution is that it's based on we, the people. A deliberate wording chosen to show that American power is not dependent on an idea of a supernatural being, but on the people themselves. To have a government entity favor a religious group over non-religious groups presents real legal problems. I urge you to take no action to implement a chaplain policy in the Osceola schools. Thank you.
Jocelyn Williamson.
Good evening. My name is Jocelyn Williamson. I'm a mother. I'm a daughter of a Florida public school teacher, a Florida public school graduate myself, and I'm a member of clergy. I appreciate the opportunity to come here tonight. I've been looking closely at the proposed policy 3.81 to introduce chaplains into Osceola schools. While I understand the intention is to provide additional support for students, I'd like to share some concerns I believe are worth considering. Specifically, I'd like to talk about 2 points from the guidelines being considered. Roman numeral 2, letter E, number 1. The chaplain shall not proselytize or disparage any religion, belief, lack of belief, or faith group. That seems great. However, it contradicts with number 2, which reads, the chaplain's care, consistent with their beliefs, is not proselytizing or disparaging. If we remove the negatives and combine the two, it reads, proselytizing and disparaging are permitted if the chaplains believe it appropriate or their religious tradition requires it of them. This is a significant concern. What happens if the chaplain's deeply held beliefs clash with the student's beliefs or needs? For instance, if a student seeks support on issues like sexuality or mental health that don't align with the chaplain's, that advice might not only be unhelpful, but potentially harmful to the student's well-being. In addition, placing untrained volunteers alone in a room with children as young as 5 years old in kindergarten raises safety and liability concerns, even if the district could be absolved by a waiver. And the fact that you think you even need a waiver at all is alarming. A waiver isn't needed for other volunteers, right? For everybody? So why this one? Unlike certified counselors and psychologists who undergo rigorous training and background checks, volunteer chaplains may not have the necessary qualifications to handle sensitive situations appropriately. This could put your students at risk both emotionally and physically. Additionally, there are practical considerations to consider. Allocating front office spaces for chaplains, onboarding, overseeing their activities, all of these come with costs, both in terms of finances and administrative resources. These are expenses that could strain the already tight school budgets. I ask you to reflect on the unintended consequences of this proposal. Let's prioritize providing student support that respects the differences of our student body, ensures the safety of our students, and doesn't bring financial strain to the schools. Thank you so much, and thank you for your dedication.
Gilbert Toro.
Good evening, and I want to welcome the new members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to try to be short. As a chaplain, I support HB 931 bill. As a chaplain, I'm not here to ask the school board to look into this. I'm here to coordinate our next meeting to start working together, not only to follow the law, to work with you and make our school district better, and to give our students more options to seek help when needed. I agree with having speech therapists, social workers, and licensed counselors and leaders in our schools. I also believe chaplains are necessary to reinforce our educational platform with spiritual guidance at all times. In the previous meetings, it was mentioned that religious beliefs and teachings should be held strictly in the churches, that chaplains are not qualified to provide counseling, and it was defined as indoctrination. Well, respectfully, I would like to correct. It's called teaching, and teaching is part of the educational system. In Proverbs 22:6 says, direct your children into the right path, and when they're older, they will not leave it. I believe firmly that we need to bring God, prayer, and Bibles back into our schools. Chaplains are prepared to provide spiritual counseling and assistance not only to the students, also to the teachers, assistants, and all personnel. We all should agree to guide our children in the right path. I find very ironic that the Bible is not allowed in our schools, but it's allowed in prisons. If you allow students to read the Bible in schools, maybe a great number of them will never go to prisons. Give it a thought. As a Christian, a chaplain, a father, a grandfather, I am prepared to help serve, and protect our students from depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, bullying, discrimination, and any form of oppression that may cause them to take a bad or fatal decision into their lives. I refuse to stand here and see that actions were not taken to give our students all the options for them to choose and decide for their best. Let's join forces and work together for the future of our students and leave a legacy for the next generations to come. God bless you all.
Janet Moody.
Welcome, new school board members. I am Janet Moody. I'm president of the Osceola County Education Association, and I am looking forward to this board taking over. I don't know if this is the first board in the state of Florida that has all previous educators on it or not, but if you're not, you very well may be, because all of you have served in the role of being an educator, and for that I am so thankful that when we have conversations, you are not going to remember being an educator, because we know that first and foremost we want the best educated students, just like the ones that we saw tonight that came up and presented and got awards and everything. But we know that none of that happens unless there is a well-prepared educator in front of them each and every day of the school year. And so I want you to remember that for every student there are hundreds of educators who've crossed their paths to help get them where they're at. And I want you to remember that we are a team working together. Dr. Shanoff and I don't always agree, but we always agree that we're going to look for a solution and we're going to find what works best for everyone. So with that, I welcome you. And I wasn't going to speak on this, but since the chaplain has come back up one more time after months, I have sat quietly by and I've said nothing, because I wanted to talk to the people that I represent, which are the paraprofessionals and the teachers in this community. And I can tell you, after, I think I only have 20 schools that I haven't been in this semester. And I haven't found one educator who thinks this is the right path for Osceola County. So I want you to keep that in mind as you are mulling around these rules and what you're going to do about it, because I know it's politically pushed and I know that you are all held to political things, but I just want you to know I haven't found an educator yet that supports it, okay? And with that, thank you so much. And by the way, Dr. Shanoff got you those shoes because those were the color of the union, and that's his. Just ask him.
Mr. Boyd.
So thank you so much, okay?
Thank you, Ms. Moody. With that, we are now on to attorney reports and comments.
Good evening, school board. Pursuant to Florida Statute 286-011 subsection 8, the school board of Osceola County will meet in executive session to discuss pending litigation in case Wanda Elise Silva Haddock and Juan Torres Colon versus Osceola School Board, case number 2023-CA-0000716-AN. The meeting will be held on December 10th, 2024, immediately following the school board meeting in the Bill Collins Conference Room and attended by myself, Sarah Florent, school board members in alphabetical order, Ms. Bronson, Ms. Castillo, Mr. Cook, Ms. Garcia, Ms. Cahoon, Superintendent Dr. Shanoff, and a board member. Next, I did just want to advise you all that I will be contacting you all this week to discuss the possibility of joining a class action for insulin, a class action regarding insulin and overpayment regarding those matters. So I will be scheduling time to speak with each of you, because if it's something that you are interested in, the statute of limitations is coming fast. That's it. I'm very glad that you are all here and I'm excited for the next year.
Thank you. With that, we are on to 21.01 board member committee reports. There are only two of us that may have reports at this time. Ms. Castillo, you report?
Yes, Madam Chair. Board members, in a couple of weeks you will be, I believe all of us are attending the Florida School Board Association. During that meeting, we will bring policies to the general membership, which you are all now part of. And as treasurer, I held a meeting with the finance committee last Friday regarding our dues. So I will be bringing, as your treasurer for membership, the new increase for the membership dues. And there will also be discussion about the reserves. So I just wanted to give you guys an update because if you attend that meeting, I want you to be aware of what was discussed in that committee. And I also would like to invite you to the finance committee meeting that will be held during the FSBA if you want to come and learn about finance. So that's all I have.
Yes, the only other point I have, sorry, go ahead.
I found that information for you on the two committees that you had asked. I don't have it. The one for the vocational advisory is like you're the liaison and you help with pending issues should OPEC or our career and technical department need to meet and discuss. So that's what that committee is. And then the other one that you are now on the non, that is you're basically the liaison between us and FSBA and issues.
In addition to what Ms. Castillo said before coming up with FSBA, another thing that will be discussed ad nauseum over the course of the next few months is a change to the timeline for executive leadership with FSBA. So that's something you might want to tune into as we are there, because we will be voting on how that's going to look now that there are term limits on board members, progressing to being president,